Hey y'all! Ahoy hoy! It's me, O. This is the O Show, and I'm here for your amusement. And we are doing another spooky episode of my Orpheus's Halloween Orphathon. And as promised, we are going to talk about one of my favorite movies, Return of the Living Dead. Yes, y'all. Starring our favorite zombie of all time, Tarman. y'all know Tarman. Y'all need to get up on it. All right, y'all. So, Return of the Living Dead. So, not related to George A. Romero. However, this is someone that George worked with, and he started his own movie franchise. And what's cool about this movie is they actually kind of incorporate Night of the Living Dead into their storyline. So let's get into it. Alright, so the movie starts with Freddy getting a new job at, I think the warehouse is called like Unita. And they ship like medical things out, like cadavers and half dog bodies for vets and skeletons and things like that. So his co-worker Frank is telling him that the Night of the Living Dead movie was pretty much based on a real live case that actually happened somewhere, right? And so blah blah blah, and he mentions that there are some dead bodies from some incident, and they're in the basement of this warehouse. So these two fools go down there, and sure enough, he shows them the vat that, like, has a body inside, whacks it on the side, and it releases this toxic, like, gas. Knocks them out, and the gas travels through the vents of the warehouse, and now brings everything that's dead alive. Like, there's dead butterflies, and all of a sudden come back to life. As I mentioned, there's like a half body of a dog, and it's panting and breathing. And there's one dead cadaver in this freezer room that, of course, comes to life. So later when they wake up, they come out of the basement, they're looking around, and shit is just coming to life. The cadaver they let out, and they're like, well, in the movie they said that you have to kill the brain, or, well, yeah, kill the brain, destroy the brain, to kill the zombie. But that shit don't work. So they're like, what the hell do we do? And so if you ever watch this movie for the first time, you're like, oh no, they can't kill the zombie by destroying the brain. Like, what do? They tried to cut the body up. Everything that got cut off is still moving. Like, each limb is just its own thing. So they're like, damn. So there is what's his position? The guy that works in the morgue? A mortician? This guy, Ernie, he's just minding his own business next door. There just so happens to be a funeral home, a crematorium, the morgue. And they're like, well, let's take the body parts over there and see what we could do. So ultimately, they end up burning the body. Okay, they threw all the parts into the furnace, and is it called a furnace? And they cremate the remains. Well, all that smoke from that cadaver goes into the air and pretty much causes a rainstorm, and it ends up raining like acid rain that is very contaminated. It is seeping into the dirt. And what is also next door? Motherfucking cemetery. Okay, so now let's back up a little bit. So we also have some punk thugs, okay, who are actually friends of Freddy, and they're waiting for Freddy to come off of his shift so they can go party. So while they're waiting for his shift to end, they decide to party in the cemetery. Y'all, so I don't know who all the people are. Like, I don't remember if like they've done anything after this movie, but there are two people that stand out. You got Miguel Nunez, which I think was like his first role. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was actually like homeless when he was filming this movie. I think he was living in like in a shelter, and he got the part. And hey, work your way up, Miguel. And also we have the famous, the wonderful, the one and only Linnea Quigley. Hey, another Linnea Quigley movie we're talking about. And if you're gonna have Linnea in your movie, you know there's gonna be boobies. Oh, and not only boobies, child, like she is fully naked up in this movie. Now, fun fact, because I did get to meet her in a meet and greet, and she did say that. So I guess in movies you weren't like women were naked all the time in 80s movies, right? But I guess they did what? Bush? Can I say Bush on YouTube? So she had like if you really kind of pay attention and get all up in the screen, she had to have like a prosthetic. Why am I using big words today? Is it a prosthetic? Is that what it's called? So there was a fake coochie down there. Can I say coochie? We're breaking all the rules today. Yeah. So she had to have like a fake like thing down there while she was shaking her thing on top of a grave stone. So fun fact, yay. So anyway, now zombies are now coming out of the ground. Ooh. And this is the first movie where, so Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, the zombies just want to eat. Like they see you, and if you are alive, they are going to attack and eat you and move about their day. Like this movie is the first movie to actually incorporate zombies wanting brains. And then like a whole bunch of movies afterwards followed suit and did the same thing. But we do later find out through one zombie that got through a window kind of towards the movie, the mortician wants to tie it up and kind of study it like, what is happening? What the hell are you? And this dead corpse was like, we want brains because we can feel ourselves rotting. Like, our body is in pain, and for some reason, brains stops the pain for a moment of time. So that's where the whole brain thing with zombies like came into play. In case you never know, it's from this movie. Let's see what else. Okay, so I think up until before this movie, I think the most famous zombie was probably Bub from Day of the Dead. He's the zombie that was learning to do things, and he killed Rhodes at the end and gives a salute to the camera. Yeah, everyone knows Tarman. Like, this is the one that came out of the vat, and just his body alone, and just the ickiness, and it's just so beautiful and creepy. Like, talk about nightmares. Yes. So they do talk, as I mentioned before, with the other zombies saying why they eat brains, but this is him just brains. And you're like, oh no. Yes, so beautiful. Such a beautiful zombie. Alright, so anyway, the rest of the movie is pretty much the folks are running around the funeral home and trying to board the doors and the windows and stay safe. So, this is really kind of when horror comedy started happening, because the movie actually started off as like straight horror, and things kept happening and they just kind of went with certain things and parts of the story. So it's really funny. It's not too funny that it's just ridiculous, because it's already a ridiculous movie. But you start seeing the zombies just do the most. So back to like Freddie and Frank, like they're dying. Like they had to have the paramedics called to look at them, and they were just like, you don't have a heartbeat. Your body temperature is like 70. Like, y'all should be dead. So they're just getting sicker and sicker because they breathed in the gas from the vat that opened up at the beginning. Stupid idiots. So the paramedics go back to the ambulance, and then they get ambushed by all the zombies who are like outside. And then they have the ability to just get on the walkie-talkie and be like, shh, send more paramedics. So then more paramedics come, and then they get ambushed. And at one point, the cops come, and the same thing. One goes into the cop car, goes, send more cops. So then a whole like team of cops come, and then they get ambushed. So like when you first watch this movie, you're just like, okay, everyone's just fucking fucked because you can't kill these things. And on top of that, this might have been the movie that introduced zombies that run, which just sucks because we're all just screwed if a zombie apocalypse ever happens and they're running. Oh, just kill me now! Like, no, I can't. So yeah, so we got running zombies. They talk and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" Man, this movie. So fast forward to the end. There's a group of folks inside the basement after they lure Tarman from the basement and knock his block off, like literally. They call the cops, who actually have a border going around this certain area to block what's in. And if any survivors can get to the barricade, like, you know, they can meet them. But no, this shit's happening everywhere, and they're just surrounded by these zombies. So there goes the cops. So a phone call is actually made to the number that's on the side of the vat, which is the military. And y'all, these military, like it's explained in the beginning, like they lost these vats. They've been looking for them and don't even know where the shit is after all these years. But if they ever do, they already have this plan in place. So this plan, after all these years, is now activated, which is pretty much like, well, get a missile. And they drop a nuke over this town, and they pretty much just have to wipe everything out. Just sucks to be you. But with all that smoke from the nuke, all that shit rises to the atmosphere, triggers another rainstorm. And you know what happens. That's the end. Like, we're all fucked. Goddamn military. So yeah, that's pretty much Return of the Living Dead. Like, it's a fun watch. It's not, again, too scary. But in terms of like zombie looks, kills, like a big step up from Night, Dawn, and Day. Fun cast. Again, it's funny. They got jokes. Yeah, it is a really, really fun movie. I always enjoy watching it anytime it's on. I always make a point to give it a look. Let me know your thoughts. Have you all seen Return of the Living Dead? What were your favorite parts? Do you love you some Tarman too? What was your reaction when you first saw him? I can't. Like, love it. Yeah, guys, so let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will return with my next scary movie entry. So until then, TTFN. How come no one told me I forgot to blow the candle out?